Hey everyone, I'm Bethany and this is Gracie May's Tarot. I just wanted to do a quick little kind of flip through and review of the City of Dreams Oracle deck. I haven't done an Oracle review on the channel yet, so if you want to see more videos like this, please just let me know. This one was made by Jackie Franco, and I got my deck off of Etsy, but I do believe that she has her own website as well where you can order if you prefer that. There's also a tarot deck. I think it's called Midnight City Tarot or something like that. You'll see it if you go to her Etsy page or to her website, and I'll put the link in the description box for both. And if I don't, please remind me in the comments to do so. But then you'll be able to see the tarot deck too. Now, I don't have the tarot deck. I have thought about buying it, but, you know, I want a lot of decks. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm more drawn to the Oracle deck. So I had some self-control, and I didn't order both. But if you have that tarot deck, please let me know how you like it, what the energy is like, what the feel of the cards are like, all that good stuff. Or just your experience with using it. I've used this deck a few times just to do a couple quick little readings on myself, and then I did just to test it out really, and then I did I think 2 or 3 readings this week. Well, I don't know whenever I'm going to upload this, but at the time of me uploading this, I've done 2 or 3 readings for the channel using this deck, and I love the energy of this deck. Sometimes you get a deck and it takes a minute to connect with it, and sometimes you just never connect with it, and it's kind of a toss-up. You can love the artwork, you can love, just everything about a deck, and then you use it and you just don't connect with it. It's the funniest thing, and that doesn't happen to me often, but it's always a relief when I get a deck and I just immediately connect with it, and that was definitely the case with this one. And I like the size of it. My biggest complaint with Oracle decks is that they are massive. Like if I look at this deck here, I was so disappointed in this deck. This Oracle deck here, the cards are thin, they're massive, and the booklet, I don't know, it doesn't quite fit in here nicely, like it's kind of bent a little bit. And then sometimes sometimes I place the guidebook back in the box while I'm using the deck, and it doesn't fit. It like pushes the corner. I don't like it. And the cards are massive and they're thin. I usually don't mind a thin tarot deck because there's so many cards, but when it comes to an Oracle deck, it's smaller. So I feel like the quality should be better on this. I don't really care for the texture of the cards, and they're massive. They're just way too big. They're so hard to shuffle. They're so cumbersome to use. And it's sad because in terms of the actual artwork, I like it, and I do connect with this deck. But I just was not happy with the size of these cards. They're just way too big. And then the box is just, I don't know, it just feels cheap. I don't like it. Like, I thought this deck was big, but like comparatively, yeah, no, it's just way too big. That's what you get though when you order online. You're not entirely sure what it's going to look like. So I love the size. So if you have small hands like me, the size of this deck, I think is going to be something you really like. The box is so nice. And what I like is that images from the actual cards are on the sides of the box. I love that. Now this side here is just the design that's on the back of the card, or back of the cards, I should say. But it's just so cute, and you get 35 cards, so it is a small deck. But I think it packs a big punch. Like, I feel like you can do a lot with this deck, even though there aren't that many cards. And it says, welcome to the City of Dreams Oracle. May this deck inspire you to follow your heart, trust the signs, and remind you that you are always supported wherever your adventures take you. I love that. I always love when a creator of a deck kind of puts in a sweet message, for anyone who purchases it or uses the deck. I just think that's really, I don't know, it's a nice little touch. And then even here, like you can see all the images from the cards are inside of the box too. So I just love the packaging on this. Super pretty. And then, it's a little bit reflective with the typing. And so this deck is based upon New York City, which I've never been to. I haven't traveled really outside of the South, and that was another thing. I was like, well, if I've never been to New York, am I going to connect with this deck? I still do. And I love the sides of the cards too. And so the texture, I don't know exactly how to describe the texture of these cards, but if you look closely, it's not quite like a cross hatching. I don't know. I love the texture because they feel more higher quality than that other deck that I was showing you. It doesn't feel so papery, but then at the same time, it's still an easy deck to shuffle. This is not a big deck to shuffle. Now, what I will say is that if you have a problem with cards that are slick, these are very slick cards. So you may love that texture. I personally don't mind it, doesn't bother me. Some of my favorite decks have this texture, both Oracle and Tarot, so it doesn't faze me at all. But some people don't like the slickness, because if you're new to Tarot, new to working with Oracle decks, and you're not fully comfortable with like your shuffling abilities, even someone who is very like seasoned in shuffling, when the cards are slick like this, they could get away from you, but it depends upon how you shuffle, and it depends upon, how comfortable you are with shuffling, I would say. So for some of you, that might be a deal breaker. So I just wanted to point that out, that the cards are slick. But they're also really pretty to display. Like if you're someone who likes to draw like a daily card and you have like a stand for that or something, super cute. But I'm going to stop yapping and I'm going to get into the actual cards, and then we'll take a look at the guidebook. So I'm going to put this to the side. Bodega Cat is so freaking cute. Look at how adorable. Now, if you saw this card, you could get some intuitive messages, obviously, from looking at it, but I think the meaning behind some of these cards isn't immediately apparent, while others of them are. And I kind of like that mix. I like that there are some cards that aren't super straightforward, and this is a good guidebook. I usually don't refer to the guidebook unless I have a card where I'm like, Bodega Cat. What does that mean? Like what is that referring to? What is this card trying to say? And I always think when you get a new deck, before you look at the guidebook, go through it and see what intuitive messages you get, then refer to the guidebook, because I feel like that deepens your personal connection to the deck. That's just my own personal tip there. But yeah, super cute. You guys know I love cats, so I just think it's so cozy, so adorable. Imagine being a sweet little cat just snuggled up on some oranges. I love it. And we'll look at that particular card in the guidebook because it's a good one. And we have Snow Day. See, Snow Day, I feel like you could kind of figure it out a little bit more than Bodega Cat. Because if you think about a snow day, yay, I get to miss school, I get to stay at home, I get to have some, it's a nice surprise to get some rest. There's magic on a snow day, there's playfulness, there's kids making snowmen and snow angels. It's a fun day. And talk about like childhood nostalgia. Like you can get so many messages from just such a simple word, Snow Day. I love that. And I have a lot of decks that have kind of the same function or the same messages. They'll say kind of generic words like luck, abundance, prosperity. And it's good to have those decks. It's good to start with those decks. It's good to have those in your wheelhouse, especially if you're someone who's doing a lot of readings like I do, or if you're someone that just wants straightforward messages about your life and you're pulling cards for yourself. However, you don't want to keep just buying that same deck with different artwork, Like I feel like I have maybe 4 or 5 versions of the same deck. It's just different artwork. And I like to have that variety because I do a lot of readings, like I said, but I think there's something really special about a deck that has unique messages like this one. We have Beach Day Getaway, and it shows the little Metro card there. We have You Belong Here. We have Enjoy the Ride, little carousel. So you see, like, enjoy the ride, that's a little bit more of a straightforward message, right? Eyes on your own paper. See, this one's cute. No cheating. Eyes on your own paper. Focus on yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. We have the Grind card. We have Sound, Romance, and Frequency. That one's pretty. Anything is Possible. This one has come out quite a bit since I've been using this deck in readings. So has Community. This card's been coming out quite a bit. We have Springtime Renewal. I did a great reading recently where the Portal card came out. I loved it. We have the Dandelion. We have What You Seek is Seeking You. This is one of my favorite little messages. What you seek is seeking you. We have the Messenger. Let Your Light Shine, little salt lamp. We have Go Your Own Way. And then it's got, New Jersey, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn. Those of you who have been to New York, comment below like what you thought, what you felt like, or if you're from New York, share your experience. How do you feel about it? We have the In Between. That's a good one. See You on the Other Side. What goes around comes around, and then it just keeps saying that repeatedly. Listen, I feel like I know I've talked about my great-grandma quite a bit on this channel, and these are actually her brooches here. I need a little bit of, protection, good vibes, but that was one of her favorite sayings. She would always say, can't never could, what goes around comes around, and what was her third one? It is what it is. Her third one was, it is what it is. And all three of those sayings have stuck with me my entire life. I feel like they have become mantras, life philosophies for me. She was the wisest person I think I've ever met in my life. And I mean, she had, the age to back it up. When she passed away, and she was like a mom to me. I mean, she really played a big role in raising me. And not a lot of people, I think, get to have such a close relationship with their great-grandparents. And I didn't have a great-grandpa because he had already passed away, but I had my great-grandma. And she died not even, I think, 2 weeks before, give or take, before her 100th birthday. And she was very active up until maybe the last 2 years of her life. So even her 90s, she was mowing grass, living in her own home, cooking, doing all that kind of stuff. Okay, we have Candle Magic. Sorry, I don't know why I veered off into a whole segue about my great-grandma. We have Thrift Shop Magic. This one's a really cool card. This one's come up in readings. We have Celebrate Your Wins. We have Luck. We have Projections. Oh, I'll be excited when this comes out in a reading. I feel like you can get a lot of good messages with that one. We have the Altar. I want to make an altar space in my home. That's going to be on my to-do list for 2024. If any of you guys have an altar in your home, let me know if you feel comfortable sharing. What are some things that you like to put on your altar? Because I know altars can be very personal, so if you don't feel comfortable sharing, that's okay. But if you have any tips on starting an altar or creating one, let me know. We have Letting Go. Love that. This card here is what made me purchase this deck. I just fell in love with this card. I don't know, it's just everything about it. It's so cute. I love the color like the color story throughout this deck, and something about this style of it, I don't know, the way the drawings are made me kind of feel like it matched the aesthetic of my channel too. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this card. I love it so much. And just all the little details, you know, how the books all have titles, angel numbers, dream symbolism, astrology for beginners. Like, it's so cute. A little tarot book there. And then we have level up with the elevator. We have protection. Always need some of that. We have the crossroads. Salt bath. I've never actually taken a salt bath before. We have a new day. I do have a salt lamp. And it's a cat one, of course. We have levity. This one's super cute. And we have everything is temporary with the tattoo. Okay, now let's take a look through the guidebook. And I'm sorry if I've been going too slow for some of you. It's just very chill, like relaxed kind of video here today. I think I will read her little intro here. It says, during my time living in New York City, I felt it was speaking to me in everyday moments of city life. The scenes around me morphed into grand metaphors. Signs and synchronicities were everywhere. The more I listened to the inspiration guiding me towards my dreams, the more signs I noticed. These messages asked me to take the risk. They invited me to the next level and inspired me to live a big creative life. They encouraged me when I was on the right path and when it was time to change direction. I was given guidance that helped me to shift. New York City is full of potential and magic. It provides a vast opportunity for growth and learning. I'm so incredibly honored to be able to share my experiences with you through these cards. I hope this deck inspires you to see the messages from Spirit and your inner guidance in your daily life. There is magic in the clock flashing 11:11, the bird landing on your windowsill, and in taking the next step forward. It's my intention that this deck guides you, offers you support, and helps you to live your dreamiest life. With love and city magic, Jackie. I just love that. Like, that's such a good welcome letter to the deck. And let's see. Oh, these aren't. Silly me. It's early in the morning. I haven't had coffee. Give me grace, y'all. It's in alphabetical order. And I'm just flipping. Yeah, you're not going to find the bees in the back of the book. Now, I will say, one thing I do like is when decks have numbers. I just think that makes it easier to find it in the guidebook. But this is such a small deck. It's not a massive deck. I think numbers would take away from the artwork. The artwork is so pretty. And because it's in alphabetical order too, I don't feel like it's a big deal. And it's not a massive deck, so I don't think it's going to be too tedious to find, which card you're looking for. So let's read the Bodega Cat one. You've been blessed by Bodega Cat. A friend and familiar, Bodega Cat is the guardian of the shop. They rest quietly on top of produce and are unfazed by customers perusing the aisles for last-minute ingredients for tomorrow's lunch. Perusing got me tripped up. We have Bodega Cat signifies independence, protection, and connection with animals. This is a reminder to march to the beat of your own drum and to follow your instincts. Yeah, if this card came out in a reading, I feel like, and I mean, it always depends upon the context of the other cards, the topic of the reading, and all of that. But I feel like with Bodega Cat, you could delve into, like, what are the qualities of a cat? I think people definitely associate cats with independence, but what else do they associate cats with? What about a cat is meant to symbolize something about what you're meant to do or the energy you're meant to embody? That kind of thing. I feel like you could run with that. I feel like you could open that up and get some really cool messages by kind of exploring some of those questions. So yeah, I feel like this card has a lot of potential there. Let's see. Let's kind of look at another one that's not necessarily super straightforward. Oh, thrift shop magic. Have you felt a nudge or a subtle prompt to go to your favorite local thrift shop? Possibilities await you. What treasures will you find? Perhaps the perfect vintage tea you've been dreaming of, or just the right vase for your altar. These are special treasures that can only be found here on the perfect day at the precise time. Giving these items a new life, recycling, repurposing. There's a special kind of magic that takes place here. Your guides who have a zoomed out perspective are able to line you up with your dreams or bring gifts your way. They smile back at you when you hear them. What waits for you when you answer the call? See, that's such a cool interpretation of the thrift shop. I love that. Especially the part about when you find an item at the thrift store, you had to be there at the exact right time, at the exact right moment to get it, because it's not something that's mass produced. There's only one thing of that item, at the thrift store. Well, not that it's not mass produced, but the thrift store isn't a regular store. So they're not going to have multiples of one item that's been donated, right? Most likely not. Okay. So yeah, this was a little review of the City of Dreams Oracle. You're definitely going to be seeing me use this deck a lot in January for sure. And yeah, if you want to see more Oracle deck reviews, please let me know. I am going to be uploading a video on which tarot decks I recommend for beginners, because I feel like that would have been something that I could have used back when I was starting to learn tarot. I feel like there's so many decks. It's so overwhelming, and I don't know, like there's just, you can kind of fall into the trap of buying a deck because you think it's cute. Like I'll go into it in that video, but I bought a cat deck that was so not beginner friendly, like not even remotely beginner friendly, because it was cute and it had a cat on it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, I'll be uploading that video, so be on the lookout if that's something you're interested in. Okay, guys, take care.